Dean Martin, remembered as one of the smoothest entertainers of the 20th century, began life far from the glamour that later surrounded him. He was born Dino Paul Crescetti on June 7, 1917, in Steubenville, Ohio, the son of hardworking Italian immigrants who came to America with little more than determination and hope. At home, Italian was the primary language, which made young Dino feel out of place when he started school. His thick accent and quiet nature sometimes made him a target for teasing, but those early experiences also helped shape his personality. Instead of responding with anger, he often leaned on humor and charm to ease uncomfortable moments. Music also became a quiet refuge for him. While he had no idea where life would take him, those early influences, family, resilience, and a love for melody, were already laying the foundation for the man the world would one day know as Dean Martin. Lessons learned. Outside the classroom, Dino's school years were short. By the age of 16, he decided that the classroom was not the path meant for him. Like many young men of his time, he stepped into the workforce early, taking on difficult jobs that demanded strength and endurance. He spent time working in steel mills and even tried his hand at boxing under the name Kid Crochet. These experiences were far from glamorous, but they taught him valuable lessons about perseverance and discipline. Life during those years required grit, and every challenge added another layer to his character. Though he could not have predicted it then, those demanding days helped build the quiet resilience that later allowed him to handle the pressures of show business. Long before bright lights and packed theaters, Dino was simply a young man learning how to stand on his own feet and carve out a future. Discovering the power of charm. During the late 1930s and early 1940s, Dino began working in nightclubs, sometimes as a blackjack dealer and sometimes as an entertainer. These smoky rooms were lively places where personalities mattered as much as talent. Observing people closely, he learned how timing, humor, and a relaxed smile could completely change the mood of a room. He realized that audiences responded to authenticity and warmth. Around this time, he started experimenting with singing on stage. Inspired by crooners of the era, he began performing under the name Deana Martin. Although the response was not always enthusiastic at first, these early performances helped him understand the craft of connecting with an audience. Gradually, his voice, soft, smooth, and unmistakably warm, began to stand out. Even in those modest venues, hints of the effortless stage presence that would later define Dean Martin were already emerging. A name change and a new beginning. As his ambitions grew, Dino decided that a new stage name might help him reach wider audiences. He chose Dean Martin, a name that sounded simple, confident, and memorable. The change symbolized a fresh start, but success did not arrive overnight. In the early 1940s, he continued performing in clubs and small venues, often singing for audiences who were distracted by conversations or card games. Those nights required patience and humility, yet each performance sharpened his skills and strengthened his confidence. Dean developed a relaxed style that felt natural rather than rehearsed, making people feel as if they were listening to a friend rather than a performer. Slowly but surely, his reputation grew. Though the road was not easy, those formative years gave him the stage experience and emotional depth that would eventually transform him into one of America's most beloved entertainers. Finding independence and respect. Despite their enormous success, life inside the partnership was not always simple. Many critics focused their praise primarily on Jerry Lewis, often overlooking Dean's contributions. After years of performing together, Dean decided in 1956 to pursue a solo path. The decision surprised fans and industry insiders alike, but it ultimately proved to be a defining moment. Determined to show his full range as an entertainer, he accepted dramatic roles in films such as The Young Lions, where he performed alongside acclaimed actors Marlon Brando and Montgomery Clift. His performance earned respect from critics who had once underestimated him. By stepping out on his own, Dean revealed that he was far more than a supporting figure. He was a capable actor, a gifted singer, and a performer who could captivate audiences in multiple ways. A song that changed everything. In 1964, Deana Martin recorded a song that would become one of the defining moments of his musical career. Everybody Loves Somebody. At the time, the music charts were dominated by the rising global phenomenon of the Beatles, making it difficult for many established singers to compete. Yet Dean's warm and heartfelt recording struck a chord with listeners across America. The song climbed to the #1 position on the charts, demonstrating that his timeless style still held powerful appeal. For Dean, the success was deeply satisfying. It proved that audiences appreciated the sincerity and emotional warmth that characterized his music. The achievement also strengthened his reputation as a leading vocalist of the era. With one unforgettable melody, he confirmed that his voice and his unique charm still had the power to capture hearts everywhere. The Rat Pack and Las Vegas Glory. As the 1960s progressed, Dean became closely associated with a legendary group of entertainers known as the Rat Pack. Alongside friends like Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis Jr., he helped create a new kind of stage experience that blended music, humor, and relaxed camaraderie. Their performances in Las Vegas became iconic, drawing audiences eager to see the effortless chemistry among the performers. Dean's laid-back style, often appearing with a glass in hand and a playful smile, made him seem completely at ease on stage. Whether singing romantic ballads or trading jokes with his friends, he created an atmosphere that felt spontaneous and joyful. During this period, he also hosted The Deana Martin Show, which further cemented his place as one of television's most charismatic personalities. A private man behind the spotlight. While the public saw a relaxed entertainer who seemed to glide effortlessly through life, Deana Martin valued his private life deeply. Family meant more to him than fame or applause. Over the years, he experienced both joy and challenges in his personal relationships, including marriages and the responsibility of raising several children. Those closest to him often described a thoughtful and devoted father who cherished quiet time away from the spotlight. Though his schedule frequently took him on tours or film sets, he made sincere efforts to stay connected with his family. Friends noted that the easygoing personality audiences loved on stage was genuine, but there was also a reflective side to him that the public rarely saw. Behind the laughter and music was a man who simply wanted the same things many people do: love, stability, and meaningful moments with those he cared about most. Later years and enduring legacy. In the later years of his life, Deana Martin gradually stepped away from the fast pace of show business. He spent more time enjoying simple pleasures such as golf, quiet evenings with family, and watching classic films. Though he appeared less frequently in public, the admiration people felt for him never faded. His music continued to play on radio stations, and his performances remained beloved by generations of fans. When he passed away on December 25, 1995, tributes poured in from across the entertainment world. In Las Vegas, the city's famous lights were dimmed briefly in his honor, a symbolic gesture of respect for someone who had helped shape its entertainment culture. Today, Deana Martin's voice still carries the warmth and charm that first captivated audiences decades ago, reminding listeners that great music and genuine charisma never truly go out of style.